I just think men and women are different. I don't think women go for looks as much as men do. So I think looks don't really define whether someone's like bangable or dateable.
I actually think women care more about looks, and women judge men more harshly on looks than do women. Sorry.
I don't think that's
women
true.
judge men more harshly on looks than do men judge women on looks.
No, I think women judge women on looks more than men judge women on looks, but I don't think it goes the same way for men.
I agree.
With what?
I agree with what she said.
That men are harsher judges of looks.
Yes.
Okay, we
no.
No, what I said. Hold on. That men are more like they're more.
Men care more about looks.
Yes.
But women judge men more harshly on looks. So in order for a man to be physically attractive to a woman, he has to meet more metrics. Men are much more lenient in their attractiveness, physical attractiveness judgments than are women.
I don't agree.
I'll give you a couple.
Haven't you seen those TikTok videos where it's like those guys are like, "Would you date me if I was skinny?" And all the girls are like, "I would date you now." And then if you go to the same thing to a guy, the response isn't the same at all.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I need her to be this. I need her to have an ass. I need her to have tits. I need her to be skinny. I need her to go to the gym. And then you ask a woman, and she's like, no. Like
you don't have to have a six-pack.
It would be 50-50.
I mean, okay.
If I'm being honest.
And not only that, but I feel like when you go through a dating app, I feel like most women also don't just like, they see looks, of course, because that's your first impression.
Because you're on a dating app.
Yeah. But I feel like more women also look at the characteristics, and obviously because women are going to be like, I don't want to get murdered. Let me go see what this guy's about. Mm-hmm. And they'll actually want to know what he's about.
You know, now that I think about it, I agree with you if we're talking about sleeping with someone. I think guys...
I still feel like it's 50-50. Like, girls can be as harsh as men can sometimes. I mean, let's be honest.
So are we talking about dating, or are we talking about banging?
I think both. I think both to sleep with. I think maybe women care slightly less about looks when it comes to... I mean... Looks, I think, for both men or women are sort of the first thing. The physical attraction has to be there. Mm-hmm. So that's, I think, for both men and women, that's important for both. So, you know, like, you could have a fantastic guy, but if he's not meeting some of women's metrics for what she finds attractive in a partner, it's just never going to go anywhere. Unless he's super high status, super financially well off, or incredibly charismatic. But most men are not these things. Anyways, so I'll give you a couple of examples for why I think women rate men or judge men more harshly on looks than the reverse. And there's a couple physical metrics. And these physical metrics are out of men's control. So the three things that are out of men's control that women care quite substantially about. One is height. Men can't control their height. Most women want to date a man who's taller than them. The second is hair. So if a man is balding, most women, if a man has a receding hairline, most women have a preference, a strong preference for men with a full head of hair. Maybe that changes when they're in their 40s or 50s. And that's out of men's control. Can't really control that. There's medications I guess they can take, but whatever. The third is penis size. If a man's peen size is not adequate, that's probably going to be a deal breaker for a lot of women. And then also, I mean, peen performance. So there's a whole bunch of things. So whereas men, in terms of judging women, a lot of the things men care about in women have a degree of control over. The primary thing men care about when it comes to women is weight. And weight is something for both men and women that you have absolute control over your weight. You disagree?
I mean, with people, for both men and women that have PCOS or anything like that, any type of medical condition where it's hard to lose that weight.
PCOS, what's that?
I don't know the acronym for it.
What are the, does that affect your,
Basically,
I think I've heard of it, but I'm
yeah, so it's kind of common, but it affects the, help me out here,
What?
PCOS,
Well,
Like-
you would know.
metabolism, I don't know, something. All I know is that it affects something to where,
here, I'll help you out.
yeah, Google it, please.
Someone-
Well,
Polycystic.
PCOS is something, I believe it only happens in women, polycystic ovary syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So it affects your ovaries. It affects your hormones.
Okay, but
Yeah,
like,
all of those things, and hormones in return affect weight loss
Affect
and
weight lo-
acne
yes,
and
exactly.
hair health.
But I think
and-
his point is that it's
Okay.
still
But still,
Weight-
stuff like
Changeable.
that.
okay,
weight-
but the exception does not make the rule. Yes, there are people that have,
well, yes, of course.
people
but
have
that's something
hormonal
that you have
issues.
to take into consideration when you're making the rule. You can't pick and choose what is.
if it's 50% of women that have
is
PCOS,
over 50% of women.
50% of women have PCOS.
yes, like a lot, and a lot of them are like go undiagnosed, but a lot of women do have PCOS.
And PCOS makes it difficult to lose weight.
it's a hormonal.
It's a
Percent-
hormonal thing.
So everything related to your
50% of women have PCOS.
You should look up the
Are you
percentage.
sure?
I'm pretty positive. It's a huge amount of women,
I mean, it says more than 200,000 U.S. cases per year, and there's
and a lot of them
350
go,
million people in the U.S.
A lot of
so-
them go undiagnosed, and there's new cases all the time, and there's like 0 studies on it.
So are you saying that women who have PCOS are incapable of losing weight? Because I
It's
doubt that's
just-
the
it's
case.
not that
It's
it's,
not
incapable.
incapable.
It's just that it's
makes it
harder.
harder.
Yes,
Well,
they
I'll give
might
you-
have control of it.
Sure.
But the thing is you're saying that it's something that
Weight-
they have easily
Okay,
control of.
let me change the framing here. Broadly speaking,
Okay.
both men and women, broadly speaking, are 100% in control of their weight.
In a way, I guess. you could say that.
You can lose weight. For example, I have hypothyroidism.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it a bit harder for me to lose weight, and I gain weight a bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I'm really strict with my diet, it ultimately comes down to calories in, calories out.
Yeah. So I guess it's not impossible. To answer your question, it's
Well,
not impossible.
okay, but broadly speaking, overwhelmingly, weight is something that is in people's control.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
men care.
regardless what you have.
Yes. So men care about weight, but that's under women's control. Broadly speaking.